All right, good morning, everyone. It is 8:58 in the morning, August 31st, 2021, and this is my strategy session. So, first up, we have a company called Digital Turbine Incorporated, has a symbol APPS. This is a stock that I've traded a couple of times. I swung trade this quite some time ago, and I wish I had just kind of held on to at least part of a position here. Here's the daily. Let me make this the daily larger here. I swung trade this back here in the middle of 2020 at some point. And I was in this thing for about $10 a share. I don't remember. Maybe actually it was a little bit less than $10, just a tiny bit less than $10 a share. It was it was right in here. So I was in this thing for about $7 per share actually, and it popped up to 10 something, and then started to come back down. And I sold it. That was in June of 2020, May and June of 2020, something like that. And then this thing just went on a tear. went up to 90, 103 a share. Anyway. All right, so it's popping up again today. It's been introduced into the S&P mid cap, which is good. You know, I've seen this happen a few times on stocks recently, and it's good once a stock gets listed into or named into the S&P mid cap or the S&P, mid 400, or there are all a bunch of different ones. It just automatically becomes a part of a portfolio that a lot of managers buy in order to balance out their investment strategies. So if it opened up right now, it would open up at $56.35, which is, let's see, a 9.97 or 10% increase over yesterday's close. So let me go to the Fib Retracement I have here, and it's not going to look pretty here on the 1 day. So let me take it over here to the 10-minute. Actually, I'll use the 1 minute. So what I'm going to do is, lately what I've been doing is waiting until, and adjusting my Fibonacci levels to the open. And so once this thing decides where it's going to open, what the price is that's going to open, it actually sets up a couple of different trades. So this stock, there's probably, even though it's good news and so forth, there's probably going to be profit taking on this run. For people either to just take some profit, wait for pullback, and then buy some more in a couple weeks or something. So this morning, there are going to be just a couple ways to play it. So the first one is, suppose it open right now at 56.35. Profit taking could take it down to the first roughly 2, even 3 Fibonacci levels. We'll see. And see, the thing about this stock too is that it's on its way down. Here, let me move the. So you can see here, there's kind of a Wyckoff type of distribution happening here, where there's the run up, there's the consolidation, and this is a really, really rough estimate of a Wyckoff, but essentially run up, distribution, fall down, then back up, and then it goes all the way down. This I imagine this really is just going to be, this isn't going to be an investment for me just because it's getting introduced into the mid cap. Doesn't really mean a whole heck of a lot. I mean, it could go back down to $20 before it finds support again. And actually technically this gap is unfilled. This gap back here from the 5th of August to the 6th of August 2020, it's unfilled. So, I mean, this thing could come all the way back down to fill this gap, and then decide to continue going up. So, and this, I must have been looking at a trade on this not too long ago. In fact, actually, I kind of remember it popping up on the radar again not too long ago. But anyway, I just got rid of that line. So today, if there's a trade there, it's going to be, the trade that I'm looking for is a move past the open. So, it hits the open, dips down, and then makes a move past the open. Then I'll be in for a quick trade, real quick trade. That usually happens near the open. And then the other trade that I would be looking at is a bounce off of support levels. So if it if it sells off, there's profit taking. Then down to about the 50% level is where I'm usually willing to go in order to look for a bounce. Let's see, in recent history here, let's see if there's anything in the charts that's really telling. I'm not seeing a whole lot here that's really, I guess, let's see, there's this. Pretty good. Pretty good support line. Let me make that a different line. Make that one a line. I'll make it blue. That's a support line. It looks like there's a little bounce there, some support at 47 and a half roughly. A breakdown below that, it's got further down to go. This thing really really is on its way down. It's not on its way up. Pardon me. Let's see. Then there's this top over here. I'm gonna make that one a dashed line. So that's a resistance. Today's resistance could be 61.24. Yeah, I'm not really seeing a heck of a lot going on for this thing long term. It's got a lot of downward pressure right now. So in another 6 months or so, if this thing's hitting around $16, $19, somewhere in that neighborhood, then it might be worth a buy, in my opinion. All right, so let's see. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything really like a level that's going to work as support close to its current pre-market price. So this thing really does have room both to the upside and to the downside to get a lot of movement. There's a lot of empty space in between 56.40, 47.78, and then 61.24. Let's see if we can see it on the 10-minute here. See if the 10-minute, there we go. Yeah, so it's like dead in the middle between what I can see as sort of major support and resistance. The price is really close to the middle. It's, I guess it's about $10 away from support and about $5 away from resistance. So, there ought to be an interesting setup on this thing at some point today. And the ones that I'm most willing to take are the Fibonacci support levels for sell-off or the move past the open. All right. So then next up here we have ACIU. Now, ACIU announced first positive results for an Alzheimer's drug treatment. Okay, and you can see here actually right now, I've got these two lines here on ACIU, and these are resistance lines. You can see here pre-market, it's hit 1250 once, and right now it's trying to kind of poke back into 1250, this $12.50 and $13 range. Let me show you where I got these. Now, this stock, now, an announcement of new data on an Alzheimer's drug treatment, that's good and everything, but that's not, FDA approval. That's not, the people get excited about this stuff, and I guess it's okay to get excited about it, but it's not in my opinion, it's not time to invest. So what we have here, this is the daily, and you can see back here on February 11th, and then also on July 16th. July 16th of 2020 and February 11th of 2021. You can see here we had these big run-ups. When this one went to as high, let's see, previous close was at about $7. Gapped up, opened at around $10.77, ran up to $13, and then just crashed back down for the rest of the day, and wound up closing at $8.63. And so then it spent the next few days just kind of bottoming out. Gapped down, found some support around $5 or so. And you can see here on the 11th of February, opened up here at about, I'd say, $11.58, ran up to as high as $12.50, and then spent the rest of the day crashing back down to $8, we'll call it. A close at $8.50. So then that's and it sells off. So these are real flash in the pan kind of days. These aren't days where a price is gonna this stock, unless it gets an FDA approval, and we're talking like that's 5 years down the road at least for an FDA approval. I seriously doubt there might be a trade on this today in regular hours. But I seriously doubt that there's going to be anything. I seriously doubt this thing's going to start running to 20, 30, 40, 50. This just isn't the kind of news that makes a stock do that. And so $13, if this thing can break above, I can't imagine why it would do it, but if it can break above these levels, find support, and then continue further on, then it's going to be, it's really going to have a big run for the day. But otherwise, I imagine that it's going to run into resistance, and it looks like it's going to open pretty high. It's opening around $12.12. Its previous opens were, considerably lower, and so its previous opens after these runs right here are considerably lower, and so I imagine that it's probably going to hit resistance pretty quickly and then just start dropping down. It's good news. The company is putting out good news, but the news it's putting out doesn't roll into FDA approval for it's still quite some time, and then it doesn't turn into revenues and earnings for even longer after that. So not really excited about ACIU, although I will trade it if the trade reveals itself. If we get a momentum set up, I will trade it. But definitely very careful on this one. It would be, in my opinion, it would be a very fast trade. All right. So RHE, Regional Health Properties, there is no news on this one. But there's something going on here. Let me check and see if news popped up again yet. If there's anything that popped up since I first looked at it. I got into the office about 45 minutes ago. No news. The only news is that it's one of the pre-market gainers. I guess real estate right now, real assets in the economic environment that we're going into are going to be really popular. So. This is a momentum set. The common shares outstanding is 1.72 million shares outstanding, and its float is 1.48 million shares. So it's got a really low float. It's already traded 3.5 million shares pre-market, so it might be a little bit crowded. This one actually might be, just because of the economic environment that we're in, I don't see any news on it, so that gives me a little bit of hesitation. I don't know why it's moving. If there's no catalyst, why is it getting, a 31% pre-market bump up here, So it'll be on watch. This is more attractive to me than ACIU is, but still, with no news, if it presents momentum setup, I will likely trade it. And the only reason I tend to not trade stocks that have no news, but since it's real estate, and we are going into what's kind of considered a favorable environment for real estate, then I'm a little bit more prone to trade it. And then SYTA, this is just on watch, and this is just in case this thing decides to really start running. I have no idea. This is also no news, but it's popped up here at 36% pre-market. It's probably just a technical bounce after this kind of big slide here. So it's on watch. If it just starts going nuts and really starts screaming up, then yeah. And if it gives a trade, if a trade reveals itself, then I'll take it. The broader market here. So the SPY is pulling back just a tad. If it opened up right now, it opened up 0.08% lower than yesterday's close, which is really negligible. I thought I got rid of these yesterday, these lines. It made a new all-time high, a new all-time closing high yesterday. So a pullback would be perfectly normal. Just another pullback to recharge the batteries and make another move higher. I'm going to put an alarm on the VIX. If the VIX happens to pop up to 1821 today, I'll be looking for an entry on the SPY for call options. The VIX is working on getting down below this support line here. If it does, it's going to be it's going to be off to the races for the SPY. Then Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is looks like it's in a period of consolidation here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a pullback to 42,000, a close pullback, and it's an important level to be tested. I imagine there are going to be buyers that are going to come in hand over fist the closer it comes to 42,000. But it's such an important level that this test here, so it broke it tested the level on the 30th of July and the 31st of July. In June, July, August. Wow. Is this right? Yeah, that's 1 month, huh? Oh yeah, okay, so Bitcoin trades every day of the week instead of 5 days a week. It looks kind of like a long stretch there. Well, okay, so anyway, it tested 42,000 at the end of last month, then broke through in the beginning of the month, came back tested that 42,000, and then moved away. Buyers came in. Now, it wouldn't surprise me to see it sell off again to close to 42,000, and then buyers would come in here and watch it move away. If it doesn't, if it breaks down below, then Bitcoin, I would call Bitcoin bearish at that point. I wouldn't call it neutral. I would call it bearish at that point. I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see what happens. We'll see. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the day. So AAPS, I've got some Fibonacci's here for support in case there are people that come in and sell the rip, which isn't surprising. Then also move past the open is another strategy. ACIU, interesting. I have my eye on it. Oops. Let me go back to apps here. ACIU, RHE, and SYTA. SYTA is almost a 0% conviction of confidence. 0% confidence in anything on SYTA. The other three, are more likely the ones that I'll trade. Okay, everybody, good luck out there. Keep your risk tight. Click like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, tap the bell, and I will see you at today's recap. I am out.